2.
Part 2, head gaskets. Don't know if you can tell, but these are severely oil coated, need to be replaced. And then I'm going to be doing the motor mounts. And then I'm going to be doing the oil pan. It's just bolts. Just bolt it off, bolt it on, like nothing to it. So the motor mounts that I ended up going with are the Group N ones. And as you can see here, they actually do say Subaru. I don't know if they are an OEM deal or if they're aftermarket, but these look OEM at least. They feel really solid. I thought they were going to be a little bit softer, but way better than what I have right now, for sure. When you buy the Group N motor mounts, they come with the new plates, so I'm just taking off a bolt, putting this back right where I found it. Just so everybody knows, these inside bolts don't come with the kit, so you do have to reuse them. If you're wondering about taking them off while they're on, it wouldn't hurt. Other than that, it's just a matter of taking them off and then putting on the new ones. I found that keeping a bolt on through the mount and then using that as leverage to break these nuts off is a good way of doing it. They're not difficult, but you definitely can't do it with it in your hand. So that's the old mount, and for comparison, oh man, what a difference. These do look OEM, so I believe the Group N ones are the OEM replacements. I mean, they both say Subaru on them, so. Alright, the new motor mounts are on. It took a minute to get the orientation correct, but I got it. There's the oil pan. So I don't know that OEM Subarus do a sort of silicone job. I thought they had a gasket. This one had some silicone paste on it, but I'm gonna put a gasket on it. Okay, so now I'm cleaning head to bolts using a brush and picking at it with the razor whenever I see there's something in the threads that the brush is collecting. 2.5 dash here. Taking sandpaper to the block. And real quick here, for the water pipe that goes underneath the intake manifold, it was difficult to find online the right O-rings, and I actually ended up going to ACE, and through a forum online they said the number 44 O-rings or the number 34 O-rings from ACE will fit. And my ACE was pretty unlucky. It didn't have two of either, but it had one of each, so I bought one of each. So on the bottom of cylinder 4, bolt letter D.
Yeah.
No, F is the
Yeah, it's D.
So bolt D, there was a lot of carbon buildup on the threads as well as in the hole, as we found out. So we ended up cleaning the hole and the bolt like 3 times before it actually threaded fairly easy. Check your bolt F of cylinder, or bolt D of cylinder 4. Okay, so without doing my research, I purchased a oil pan gasket for my year of Subaru, but I did some research now and it seems like most Subaru users use RTV as their gasket maker. We're gonna use the gasket, but we'll put little dabs where the split in the case is, because there was a guy in a forum saying that he doesn't use gaskets because that is the prone area for leaking. So now that the new oil pan is on, and as you saw, we may have used a little bit more Sikaflex than we really needed, but better safe than sorry. So now we're going to do the valve covers, and starting with the spark plug gasket seals. Okay, I just have to rant about this really quick. So the other day I went to Smart Service in Mukilteo to buy the Subaru valve cover gasket set. And the guy that was working there, he looked a little bit younger than me. And I said to him, yeah, you know, for the EJ25. Oh, it's for the single overhead cam, right? He's like, yeah, it's for the single overhead cam. He says it back to me. Well, putting the valve covers back on today, open up the gasket set. It's the dual overhead cam set. Fuck! So now I'm driving to fucking Oak Harbor, driving back, so it's gonna be a 2-hour trip. Car's probably not even gonna be running by the end of the day, but whatever. So I had to make a quick trip to AutoZone, friendly AutoZone, and get the correct valve cover gaskets. The one I got from a local Subaru shop, Smart Service, gave me the wrong ones for a dual overhead cam setup. Made sure these were for single overhead cam, and they do fit. That's why 2.5 Deadass was working away like a slave. So now we will continue installing the valve cover. Alright, so off screen we pushed the car in. Everything on the intake manifold's ready to go. So back into the car it goes. Went ahead and already sanded down the headers for the gasket. I'm going to use some high temp ultra copper gasket maker for exhaust. It's orange.
Finest.
And we changed our minds, we're not going to do the rear main seal. I'm not sure how we did it the first time, but I ended up jacking in the same point, but I had to use a wood block because the jack wasn't reaching. It's actually jacking up the exhaust since it's pretty tight over there. But yeah, I had to use a wood block just so it would fit and it'd reach. So through an hour of just sheer, I don't know, what would you call it? Forcing our will.
Yeah, force of will.
The motor mounts just barely went in, and I don't think we have a good trick that we could say to do if anybody else has an issue with getting the motor mounts in.
I've never seen a problem like that.
Yeah, everything went smoothly around the bell housing. The motor mount bolts just kind of missed the holes a little bit, but just shoving with the cherry pickers, just shoving the motor, jacking up the tranny, jacking up the motor, doing all these things, and it was like barely moving a centimeter. I guess tapping with a screwdriver and hammer of the mount, and we had a big 2x4 trying to leverage against whatever we could in here, and it just popped after about an hour. Good luck to anybody else. Maybe try to get the motor mounts in as the engine is dropping, but you know, you have all the trouble with the bell housing. So, and all that we've got left is radiator, timing belt, intake, battery, washer fluid reservoir,
AC,
belts,
and
oil and coolant,
alternator.
And she should be running, hopefully. Oh God.
We'll say it.
A few moments later.
Right on my face.
Alright, so I have about 40 minutes left of memory card space here, but we have the motor mounts down, we have the bottom bell housing nuts down, just put the exhaust back on,
Most of the accessories are on.
boom,
Cooling lines on.
cooling lines, alternators,
Vacuums.
power steering,
Fuel lines.
fuel lines. We are missing accessory belts, radiator, rear hoses, intake, battery, washer fluid reservoir, coolant and oil, and that's it. Easy stuff, just doing the same thing in reverse. Come here, come here. So special thanks to my dad, 2.5 Dad S, for all his hidden knowledge.
Got grease in the eyes, you know, the usual.
And for tapping the motor mounts in, because that was a bitch.
What a bitch that was.
But she's running, and I have new head gaskets now, so nobody can make fun of me anymore.
Oh, famous last word. We'll find out if they're leaking tomorrow morning, so we'll see.
All right. Thank you for watching.